You are looking live right now, Washington, D.C. 4 witnesses scheduled to testify publicly today in the House impeachment investigation into the president. Right now, that is Jennifer Williams testifying. She's an aide to the vice president. Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman will be next. They were on that July phone call between President Trump and the leader of Ukraine, which prompted the whistleblower to come forward with a complaint, which led us to where we are today.
All right. So we're going to start carrying that live on ABC 10.
Yeah, we are. We've been on there since a little bit after 6. So if you'd like to see that in its entirety, go to ABC, the TV station.
Yeah, but right here, y'all watching us on digital, and we okay with that. Now, President Trump says he will strongly consider giving written testimony. This after Democrats invited him to defend himself. So we're asking you today, should President Trump testify in the impeachment hearings? Vote now on our app or abc10.com/vote. The conversation is already going on Facebook. Kay says, no, I would love to see him show up but not testify. And says, yes, if he truly has nothing to hide, why not tell the world before Congress under oath?
Okay, we'll see what happens today. We'll continue to follow it. And there's your question. Let us know what you think. In the meantime, all your local and national top stories, the Daily Blend in 5 minutes. We have Brittany on the roadways.
All right, guys, make your way out right now. One accident I want to make sure you know about. If you work or live near 580 Tracy Triangle area, headed that way, 580 westbound near Coral Hollow Road. Be on the lookout. We have an overturned car. It's a 2-lane interstate and traffic really slow, plus rush hour. You can think about taking 5, and once you take 5, Tracy to Livermore, you're looking at an hour, and that's for rush hour. As we take a look at your drive times, what does it mean to you? Well, 99 Elk Grove into downtown, 22 minutes. If you take 5, we're also looking at 22 minutes. So traffic building but moving in the Elk Grove area. But as you know, Rob, we all know in about 30 minutes that will change.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good to know about that Tracy Triangle crash. There's not many ways around there, but at least you know ahead of time you can find an alternate route. The Gilmore backyard is in the 50s right now, and we're looking at clear skies overhead. Pretty nice start to the day, but things are changing. Let's get right to it. A bunch of moving parts today. We hit record highs in Sacramento yesterday, tying that number 75 from the old record. And then you can see on the satellite, doesn't look like much is going on, but later on today, we're going to see some winter weather. A couple of inches of snow is possible for places like 80 Donner Pass and Echo Summit, which is Highway 50. But I think that won't have major impacts, most likely. Kind of depends on how it goes. But south of that, major mountain passes like Highway 4, 108 and 120 are looking at closures later today due to snow. And then the big story is this. Starting tomorrow morning, it's going to be windy and dry for that area in red. It's a new red flag warning for a big fire risk. Not as windy as the last one, but certainly enough to cause some issues and concerns as well. We're going to be ending our day in the 60s today, closer to average. So regardless, we're cooling down. We've got the snow in the mountains today, wind for everybody tomorrow. And then looking down the road, we've got snow and rain right around Thanksgiving. Details coming up.
All right, finally starting to ramp up a little bit. Okay, Rob, thanks. Police in Fresno now have formed an Asian gang task force, part of their investigation into Sunday night's deadly shooting that may have been gang-related. They're looking for at least 2 suspects who went through a side gate and shot and killed 4 men and injured 6 more at a football watch party. Family and friends gathered to remember the victims last night. One man here praying in front of pictures of his late nephew, who he says was more like a son to him.
Yeah, this is what I used to do for my mom and dad. When they get sickness and they die, I do the same thing. Here, I show my son, my nephew, that I respect him.
Police say they still don't know who opened fire or why, but again, they're looking for a possible gang connection. Kirsten?
All right, so now let's get to some other top stories right now in your Daily Blend. PG&E under fire.
I learned more on social media, and maybe you did too, than I did from PG&E.
As the company prepares for another potential shutoff tomorrow, PG&E executives were grilled by the state Senate's Energy Commission. Lawmakers expressed frustration over the company's poor communication during the recent power shutoffs. Suing Juul. California is taking one of the biggest vaping companies to court, claiming it deliberately marketed and sold flavored products to teens. California is now the second state to sue the company. deadly Walmart shooting.
Getting several reports of shots fired at Walmart parking lot.
2 people are dead this morning after a gunman opened fire at a Walmart in Duncan, Oklahoma. This before turning the gun on himself. Police say he knew the victims. The shooting comes, though, just days after the reopening of the El Paso Walmart, where 22 people were shot in August. And that is your Daily Blend. If you got something you want to share with us when you see it online, just use the hashtag #MorningBlend10.